Hey guys, so I'm Kunal. I lead Sidekick. What I want to show you today is how we used engagement data from LinkedIn ads to be able to hyper target outbound efforts. Um, Most of what I talk about usually is going to be fully automated, right? We build AI SDRs that do these things in a fully automated manner. Um, so what you see on the screen are some LinkedIn ads I quickly created for Sidekick. We don't run LinkedIn ads. I'm not a LinkedIn ad expert. But in my opinion, LinkedIn ads, if they're being run, should not be run usually to generate actual leads and meetings. I think you use LinkedIn ads to communicate bite-sized pieces of information to your prospects, and you slowly get them to believe that, hey, Sidekick is great for aligning marketing and sales, for improving LinkedIn ads ROI, helping marketing drive SQLs, syncing inbound and outbound, and whatever you might want to do. So you're trying to communicate this and use it more for awareness, for trust building, building authority, building recall, rather than actually driving meetings. Now, say you're running these LinkedIn ads, what LinkedIn is going to give you is they're going to tell you, here's a list of your most engaged accounts, the people that are engaging with your ads the most belong to these companies. Now let's just say you pick up that programmatically and you bring it into a database like this. Let's assume we have two companies here, Anaconda and Cans AI. Now, if you're running an ABM motion, where you know exactly who you're targeting or which companies you're targeting, you know all of them are an ICP match for you. So this next step does not relate to you. But very often you are not doing that, right? You're running LinkedIn ads and you don't know if the companies that are engaging with your ads are high value or not. And you don't know if you want to invest more time and money towards targeting them. So what we do in this step is we automatically enrich each of the engaged companies. So we're using, say, Apollo here, Anaconda Cats, and we see a couple of things. We see how many employees they have. We see what industry they belong to. Run a second search automatically to identify, all right, Anaconda, how many um, sales and marketing people do they have? And then that information comes in here that, hey, there are 360 employees, Cans as 34, grow team size should be 43. I've created this manually, right? I didn't want to create an automation for this just yet. But yeah, so now I have a simple rule that comes in here that says that, hey, if it's 50 to 500 employees, growth team is 10% of the total team, industry is computer software, and if they're running ABM, if all four criteria are being met, then it's an ICP match for me. How do I check ABM? I actually will use built with. I will pull all the data from built with, and then I notice that they use demand base, which is a fairly expensive ABM tool. So I can safely assume that they're running ABM. So in this use case, Anaconda goes forward for me as an ICP match, and I ignore CAN's AI because it does not meet the criteria I've set for myself. The next thing that I do is I'm going to run a lead search on each company to identify the marketing and sales leaders in that company. And that goes into my leads database. I get Heather, Eric, and Michael. Heather, Eric, and Michael, and I save them into my leads database. And then what I do is I go and I enrich this for emails. We use an email waterfall where we hit 3 or 4 email tools, we validate it, and then we get it in here. Now, once this is done, I'm going to go actually a step further. Now, Anaconda for me, potentially, because it's an ICP match, because they're engaging with my LinkedIn ads, there's a very high probability that I'm going to be able to close them, and they're worth a fair amount of money for me. So I want to go the extra mile. I want to invest more time and money into selling to them. So I do not want to send them a generic email sequence, even though I could, right? At this point, I know that they're on LinkedIn ads. I know that they have a strong focus on growth. I know that they're investing heavily in ABM. There's a lot that I know that I could use to personalize my emails at scale, but I want to go a step further. I actually want to start conducting manual research. So what we do at this stage is for the human SDR, we create a series of tasks saying, hey, I want you to send out an email with a very personalized icebreaker right up top for Heather, Eric, and Michael. And we do this in a very structured manner where we invest about 30 minutes of time per prospect. And we will do some research and then we find certain URLs that are relevant. We find a reason for relevance, what was our source, and how strong was our research, right? And then what we create eventually is our subject line and our icebreaker. To give you an example, for Heather, we say, your SaaS talk speech, realize it's been nearly a year, but you were a part of a very interesting segment at SaaS Talk last October, and a colleague suggested I reach out. This one here for Eric is not very relevant. We could not find anything useful. So we just said, hey, as you're starting out your new role at Anaconda, you've spent a couple of decades doing this, and we'd love to get your insights. Michael was a founding member at Salesforce for something called Wave Analytics, and they grew it from zero to about $1 billion in revenue. It's now called CRM Analytics, and he was very proud of that. So that's what we refer to in our icebreaker. And then the rest of the emails are sequenced and they're prefabricated. So everything just happens automatically after that. Emails are sent, and then tracking LinkedIn posts. Again, I want to double down on investing time towards nurturing these leads and towards making sure that I can come up in their day-to-day organic flow. So what I start doing then is I automatically start tracking every LinkedIn post that they have. And every LinkedIn post that they have is picked up, is analyzed by GPT, broken down into 11 categories. And if it meets one of 4 or 5 categories that I have predefined, then that LinkedIn post, along with a possible comment, is pushed to a Slack channel where I sit. So I don't have to invest time looking at hundreds of LinkedIn posts on a daily basis. Here are 3 posts by Michael. One talks about hey, why don't you come and join our team? Not very relevant to us, so I'm going to ignore that. A second post by Eric. He talks about something, AI quick launcher for OSS models. Seems interesting enough. So Sidekick, sorry, I've written this. The other 3 posts, one's the job post, one's an AI launcher for OSS models. And what the suggested action is based on the prompt we've given is just like it. So I'll go in and I like that post. I just click on the link and I like the post. The third one is Anaconda is attending something called PyCon US. Sounds interesting. It's relevant to what we do. I don't think Michael meant to say 2023. I think he meant to say 2024. Anyway, I'm going to go in here, and Sidekick's given me a comment saying, Michael, should be a fun event. If you need to leverage automations creatively to help you pre-post and during the event, drop me a DM. Now, so I'm going to go in and this is push to Slack. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to copy the comment. I'm going to just post it here. Right. So this is how we go from a LinkedIn ad to enriching the company, to make sure they're an ICP match, to identifying the right individuals, identifying the right leads, doing some manual research to get us some really potent subject lines and icebreakers that inculcates a sense of reciprocity, right? You've invested this time to look me up. Let me give you some of my meeting time. And then we go ahead and we track them on LinkedIn into infinity and beyond till they remain a high priority account for us. And then we are able to engage with that post fairly quickly. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, guys. Thanks. See you all.